ABC Sports presents high school basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by West 40 Auto Sales, WB Green Insurance, Park National Bank, Patrons Buckeye Mutual, Southeastern Med, Doan Ford, Abel's Electric Heating and Cooling, Valentine Insurance, Papa John's Pizza of Cambridge, Muskingum Valley Health Centers, and Schaefer Insurance.
JV, not anymore. The Colts have made the move to the NBL. The Bobcats will be heading east to the Great Eight, or the Buckeye Eight. I call it
the Buckeye 8 that has 10 teams. But that's pretty common nowadays, right?
Yeah, the Big Ten's not the Big Ten anymore either, right?
Right.
Cats come in 3-4 tonight, trying to defend the home floor against the juggernaut that is the Meadowbrook Colts. 8-1. Were state ranked a little earlier in the season. The most recent rankings have dropped out of the top 10, but they keep playing like they're playing.
Better as the season goes on. Not being more smaller division in the NBL, right? They still play pretty decent.
Basically resetting and restarting all the time.
Yeah, the kids have been through a lot of different emotions, right? The high of getting the season started, and then, oh boy, the surprise of getting shut down, and then the excitement of getting back on track again, and then getting shut down a second time. Now some frustration starts to build in, and you know, kids are starting to get disinterested, and you can't practice. You can't get together with your buddies. You're out in the driveway shooting in the snow, and so trying to get those legs and attitudes back in game shape. Probably going to take a couple games to knock some rust off, and you know, you hope you don't want to see anybody have to miss any games because of what's going on this year. A lot of teams have. It would be nice to be able to get back on track and give these kids a full season.
Well, and from my perspective, too, I think it puts a little more value on just having an opportunity to play. Because, you know,
right.
You've been stopped a couple of times. In today's day and age, who knows if the call doesn't come down that we're just not going to play anymore.
Right.
So any game that you get is a bonus game. And,
yeah.
you know, you go out and you play like it could be the last, because it could be the last.
It absolutely could be the last. We had that conversation during the football season as well. Look, man, you better go out and enjoy yourself and give it your, because you don't know if this is going to be your last opportunity. And, you know, with things that are going on and COVID's not slowing down, and, of course, it hit last winter, too, and what happened with the winter sports in the tournament time, you could seriously see some of those slowdowns again. So you hope those things don't happen. There is some some light at the end of the tunnel, right? So hopefully the kids can get their attitudes back on track and, number one, enjoy what's going on. Some of these kids, this is their last times getting an opportunity to come on a floor as seniors in high school too. So there's some positives, and I think you need to build upon that to be able to have a good attitude.
Yeah, as we said, the Colts on a roll, come in 8-1. Their only stumble this year was against Union Local on the road, another pretty good team in the area. But the Colts back into groove, and against Cambridge, you and I just before we went on the air trying to figure out when was the last time.
Couple games where they didn't quite play their best. The Union Local game, they didn't quite play their best, though Union Local was a very good team. I think everybody would agree that wasn't their best game, and they didn't quite play as well as they could have against West End. But again, West End is actually not a bad team this year as well. The Cats actually played them as well. Both teams beat West End in overtime. But I think in my opinion, watching the game film and knowing what I know about the Colts is that, their most impressive win to me was that close game that I was at home, but it was against a good Morgan team who was at full speed at that point. They've been down the last couple weeks with some COVID issues too, but I think that was their most complete game and hit their foul shots down the stretch to be able to pull that one out from a really good Morgan team. So Cats definitely the underdog tonight, but classic game between the cross-county rivalries as usual.
Basketball is a game of getting in your rhythm and finding that tempo and getting in a groove. And it is kind of streaky. Sometimes within the game, teams go on runs and streaks, and certainly within the season when, you're playing well for a series of games and you're on a run. And while we're talking about streaks, I want to tell you about one of the all-time greatest streaks that I've ever heard of coming into tonight's game. Ray Sims had been a statistician and has been for a number of years for the Bobcats, has not missed a game in 547 consecutive games until tonight, and he's quarantined
dating back to 1997. Some of us can't remember that long ago.
Some of us were younger then, a lot younger then. But that's an unbelievable streak, and unfortunately, Ray's not here tonight. But I told him we're streaming the game, Ray, and you can do the stats from home.
I bet that he's got his notebook right beside him.
He probably does, and he'll be able to continue to do that. So
right.
his stat-keeping streak could stay alive, even though he's not here in person, and we hope he gets well pretty quickly. We're going to step out. Pregame's going to continue. We'll come back. We'll take a look at tonight's starting lineups, talk a little bit more about this rivalry matchup right after these messages.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Warby Parker. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at warbyparker.com/terms.
Have you ever wondered why eyeglasses cost so much? Glasses have been around 700 years.
Is the time to join the Align Healthy Gut Team Up from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Sign up at alignprobiotics.com.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Here at MDHC, we offer adult, dental, pediatric, women's, pharmacy, and transportation services, as well as behavioral health. We accept all patients. Make your appointment today if you're not feeling well.
Tired of pushy, high-pressured salespeople? Today we have Bill Wilson, sales manager from Abel's Heating, Cooling, Electrical, and Refrigeration. Bill, what makes the Abel's sales team so different?
We treat the people we talk to just like we'd like to be treated. We describe what, in our opinion, are the best choices for the customer in their home. We answer any questions they might have and outline the excellent financing options that are available to them.
That's the Abel's difference. Abel's Heating, Cooling, Electrical, and Refrigeration. One company, one goal.
Welcome back to Coach Ford Court. Bill Fury, John Valentine. Pregame continues tonight as the 3-4 Bobcats host the 8-1 Meadowbrook Colts. Colts coming off a big win here the other night. Bobcats, the meat of the schedule. Tell me about it. The Cats at New Philly had Warren local, who is still state ranked, and then of course tonight the Colts. So a pretty tough 3-game stretch for the Bobcats, and with cancellations and rescheduled games, Cambridge back in action again tomorrow night against Martins Ferry.
Against Martins Ferry, yep. And we're supposed to play Chillicothe on Saturday, but that game has been canceled. But, you know, the one good thing about the Bobcats is very rarely are you going to find a game on their schedule that's going to be chalk it up to an automatic W. I mean, they play one of the tougher schedules around. They always have, and the ECOL is always giving you that opportunity to really you can't take too many nights off.
Tonight's game also being streamed live on YRP TV and our ABC Sports Facebook page. I want to thank some of those sponsors making that possible. West 40 Auto, WB Green Insurance, Patrons Buckeye Mutual, Park National Bank, Southeastern Med, Doan Ford, Abel's Electric, Valentine Insurance, Papa John's of Cambridge, the Muskingum Valley Health Center, and Schaefer Insurance. We want to thank all of those sponsors locally that helping bring you all of our local games here, streaming video, and of course on the radio tonight too. Let's take a look, JV, at the starting lineups for the visiting Colts tonight in their Orange Crush uniforms on the road. 6'2" junior Drew Webster, Jerome Todd, 6-foot senior, Jonna McCall, 6-foot senior. Jonna been out for a while, back in action tonight. Jake Singleton, 6-foot junior, and Davis Singleton, 6'3" senior. Not necessarily the size that the Colts have had the last couple years, but you're probably not going to find 5 better athletes than those 5 guys.
Yeah, I mean, 5 solid players, no doubt about it. But, don't forget about Davis Singleton. I mean, he's athletic as heck, right? We all know that. And he's a bigger body. He can sneak inside if he wants to. And Drew Webster, for that matter, can play inside as well. So, even though this is not a huge team, right, for the Colts, they can certainly play inside out. So, that's not a problem for them whatsoever.
Bobcats on the flip side have some inside size. 6'5" senior Brock Valentine, 6'6" senior Dominic Quirk, 6'5" senior Sean Perkins. Those guys don't always play in the paint, maybe defensively, but certainly not on the offensive end. But then joined on the floor in the starting lineup, Caleb Bond and Caden Moore, 5'11" and 5'9", junior and sophomore respectively. The quickness that the Colts have is going to cause problems for the Bobcats, and that's going to be baseline to baseline.
Yeah, I think you'll see that tonight. If I was coaching, if I was in Coach Tols's shoes, I certainly would do that as well. I would guess you'll see some full court pressure and certainly come out and pressure the Cats around the three-point line. We've noticed the last 2 games that Cambridge hasn't scored much, 27 and 29 points in their last 2 games, and a lot of that had to do with not being able to get the ball in the paint to some of those big guys because New Philly and Warren are face guarding. They're really playing aggressive half-court defense and not letting the Cats get real comfortable outside the three-point line to be able to get shots off or get the ball inside. So I'm sure that the Colts will come out with that same philosophy.
That's all going to play out here just moments away. We're going to step out one more time. We'll be back with tonight's opening tip right after these messages.
I'm Brandy. You may know me as a branch manager, but I'm also a volunteer and a band mom.
At Park National Bank, we're more than our job.
For decades, the eyewear industry has been dominated by a single company that's kept prices artificially high while reaping huge profits.
Yikes.
Warby Parker was created to change that. They design and produce their own eyewear and then sell it directly to you for a fraction of the price. Warby Parker's high-quality glasses start at just $95, including your prescription. And if you need an updated prescription, they've got a few easy ways to help you get one. Text HOME to 64,000 to try 5 pairs of frames for free. They'll ship them to you to try out for 5 days. If you find a style you like, they'll send you a fresh pair with your prescription. Easy. Text HOME to 64,000 to pick your 5 frames to try and at home for free. Text HOME to 64,000 to get started for free. That's HOME to 64,000.
Back at Coach Ford Court, introductions taking place of the starting lineups, and for the Colts tonight, once again, Drew Webster, Jerome Todd, John McCall, Jake Singleton, and Davis Singleton, and the Bobcats, to much ado now, being introduced via the spotlight. And once again, Cambridge's starters tonight: Caleb Bond, Caden Moore, Sean Perkins, Dominic Cork, and Brock Valentine. And John, I know we got to go back a few years for you to tell us that rivalry energy that you get. And how that, for both teams. And regardless of whether you're the favorite or the underdog, you just get pumped up more so for cross-county rivalry.
Yeah, it's another gear that you have, and we credit Meadowbrook. That really hasn't been much of a rivalry the last several years. They've been blessed with some really good athletes, no doubt about it, and they've had the better of the Cats. But any time that you can square up face to face with some guys that you know real well down the street, there's always an extra gear that you have. So some emotion might come out early and those kind of things, but you also play with the respect as well, And we were really fortunate when we were in high school, had some pretty darn good teams, but really Meadowbrook was really solid back then too. So a lot of familiar names, and it was a lot of fun.
Davis Singleton and Perkins, and it will be the Bobcats that will control the opening possession tonight. Pretty good officiating crew on hand too for this rivalry, huh?
Yes, sir.
This guy's been around a while.
Yes.
Perkins in the corner, looks inside. Cork, point blank, couldn't get it to go with Webster on him. Rebound comes down to Jake Singleton. He'll push it up. Out to Davis. Around the perimeter, Bobcats sagging into that 1-2-2 zone. We've seen him run a little bit the last couple of games.
Yep, trying to keep themselves fresh a little bit, I would guess.
Slow the game down a little bit if they can. Webster on the slash. Kicks it to the corner and back out on top. Back to the top of the key. Inside feed. Davis Singleton, a nice pass that time by Todd. And Davis will finish.
As I said, there's nothing wrong with having Davis Singleton down on the block. He can shoot the three, but he's also a really good player inside as well.
Elevated very quickly there. Bobcats out of the 1-4 high, and Valentine got the high-low pass, but shuffled the feet as the defender. He didn't want to charge, and he didn't pick up the charge, but it will be the turnover. 2-zip Colts, and their second possession. Perkins at the top of that 1-2-2, long arms.
And now the Colts mixing it up a little bit, putting Singleton at the three-point line and Drew Webster down in. As I said, those two can certainly play down there.
Davis Singleton, little high-low with the big guy, and he handles the ball pretty well, too.
Sure he does.
Webster trying to kick it inside out. Good hands by the Bobcats. They come up with the steal. Down 2-0. 6:18 left here, opening period. Perkins slashes, kicks, and that ball tipped away by Jake Singleton, and it ends up staying with the Bobcats. Little equipment stoppage there as McCall fixes the shoestring, and now we're ready to get going. Perkins to Cork. And now Bond sets things back up. Man-to-man defense. Cork, three from the corner. Chache. And he looks smooth on that one. Caught it and shot it.
Yep, caught it in motion. Set his foot. Nice clean release.
3-2. Bobcats with their first lead of the night.
And the Cats are going to need Dominic Cork to step up tonight. He struggled the last few games.
Singleton trying to answer. Deep three right side, not there. Davis, Singleton, rebound, stick back attempt. Couldn't get that to go. Valentine clears it out to Moore. And the Cats have the lead and the ball. 5.5 left here in the opening period. Moore doubled. Down low to Cork, trying to back his way in. Does, and they'll call the charge. And Webster did a nice job of holding his ground, and there was some contact there. As Cork has a nice little jump hook, but he couldn't get to it that time, and the Cats will turn it over, and Cork picks up his first foul of the night.
All right, and as a player, you have to recognize who the officiating crew is, right? You mentioned the experienced crew, but you also got to know some of their tendencies, and
Perkins out of nowhere to swat Singleton's three away, but then stolen. And the Colts have it right back, and right back on the attack. Davis Singleton again. Little jump hook from the baseline, and did he step out of bounds? I think he did.
He did.
He tried to make that move. He made a nice move, but didn't have enough space to get it done. And it will be another turnover by the Colts as they pick up full court. Bond and McCall. Now Perkins, and a little too much juice on that one. He had a wide open court. He just kind of took a little bit of mustard off of it. The Cats might have got an easy deuce there.
Yeah, and early in the game, emotions are high.
That had adrenaline, right?
That's right.
4.5 left, halfway through this opening period. Cats lead it by 1. Skip pass across, and Bond right there. Nice athletic play by Caleb Bond to catch it and bang it off of Singleton, and the Cats will hold on to it as Colton Slaughter checks in for the Bobcats. First substitution for either team tonight. And the Cats again with a 1-point lead in the ball. Bond across the timeline. They'll jump out and double him. Swings at left side. Slaughter closed out pretty quickly. Back to Bond. Now Moore. As close as the Bobcats get to the 3-guard lineup, and that tapped away and out of bounds. It will stay to the Bobcats, I believe.
Yeah, certainly an emphasis so far for the Cats trying to get that ball in Cork's hands and get him moving early.
Tough place to throw it in. Moore deep in the corner. Cats will run a play here. Moore still looking, finally way out on top, contested, and Slaughter will chase it down in the backcourt as Singleton almost came up with it there. Bounce pass, nearly stolen away. You just can't simulate in practice the quickness the Colts have. Todd that time looked like an open look to the corner, and he was there.
He closed quickly, didn't he?
Slaughter takes it in the corner. He got closed out in a hurry. Under 4 to play. Perkins spins down the lane, looks down low. Cork fouled by Davis Singleton. Will head to the line and shoot 2. And actually, boy, Perkins had a real good look himself and passed it up from point-blank range. He has been very unselfish this year, leading the Cats in assists, but Cork will step to the line, and Dominic knocks the first one in. He has all 4 Cambridge points. We were talking before the game of how good of a free throw shooter he is, but at this point in the season, only at about 58%, and splits a pair here. Rebound comes down to Todd. 4-2 Cats. Davis Singleton to the hoop. Got his rebound. Sticks it back in. He's got all 4 called point. Pretty athletic play there. And we are tied at 4. 3:25 and counting. Bond, right side. Slaughter couldn't get an open look. Inside Perkins. Backs his way in. Little jump hook. Not there. Tapped around. Cork keeps it alive. Back to Bond. Cork will take it back and attack again. To the paint and now to the line. And Davis Singleton has picked up his second foul.
And that's huge for the Cats to be able to get into Meadowbrook's bench a little bit, and twofold. Number one, to get into their bench, but number two, to get Cork to the foul line. As we were talking before, in years past, he's been a pretty consistent free throw shooter, but it just hadn't had a lot of opportunities yet this year.
He misses the front end here. Tyler Lacey's checked in now. Drew Webster back in. And Valentine back in for the Bobcats as they get into a little rotation. And the second one rattles its way in and stays down. 5-4 Bobcats, 3-minute mark of the opening period. Low scoring first quarter.
Somehow I think that'll change as the game goes on.
Lacey and McCall out on top. Todd in the corner. He'll slash. Trying to bounce inside to Webster, and he got hacked. I think Cork probably got a piece of him there. Cork's second. So both of the scorers on both teams. Davis Singleton with all the points and 2 fouls. Cork with all the points and 2 fouls. As Webster cashes in at the line. So now we've opened up the scorebook to some other players, and Cork will sit down and Perkins right back in.
An exact same situation for Cambridge. You can't afford to get Cork in foul trouble. Number one, he's your scorer. But number two, just like Meadowbrook, not a real deep bench, and you don't want to get into it early.
Colts retake the lead, 6-5 with 2:40 left. Bond working against Jake Singleton down low. Valentine trying to back his way in. Battled in there and got hacked on the way up. Lost the ball a little bit, but then I think McCall probably got a piece of him, and he did. And again, something you and I talked about a little bit. And the Bobcats need Brock Valentine to be able to get to the line where he has been one of their better free throw shooters. And he drops that one in like taking the last piece of chicken at supper. Right? It was pretty easy, huh?
Well, you must have been reading my mind, because that was definitely last night.
And the second one would not rim in. And the Colts will clear it and push. 6-6, and Bond playing the passing lane. Nearly came up with a steal there. 2:25 left, 6 apiece. Colts on the inbound. Todd. Webster, now Lacey. Looks down low and stolen away. There's Bond again. Looking for that post feed. And the Cats have another look. Kicks it out. Slaughter, look at a 3. Cha-ching! Boy, he had all day to stare that one down. And the Cats retake the lead, 9-6.
And neither team can afford to allow the other to set their feet and shoot threes, because the Cats obviously have Cork and with Slaughter and really Bond for that matter. But the Colts can do that too with 2 Singletons and Todd. They can knock that 3 down as well. So
Lacey, he'll take the deep 3 left side, could not answer. Loose ball on the floor. Bond comes up with it, a 2-on-2. Out ahead, lays it up, and good. That's Owen Feldner, who just popped into the game, and he gets a deuce. Cats lead it 11-6. Todd on the penetration, and that is a charge. Tried to take it all the way to the hoop that time. One dribble too far. And the turnover gives it back to the Bobcats, who lead it 11-6.
And again, you got to know your officials, right? You know, these are very experienced officials, but, they do like to call that charge call on the offense.
Malachi Phillips into the game for the Colts, number 24. 1:10 on the clock. Bobcats with the ball and the lead. Perkins down low. Valentine to the hoop. Got hacked. And he'll get 2. Phillips, who just checked in, picked up that foul. Well, Valentine, 1 of 2, his first time to the line. Drops another one in here.
As we mentioned, Valentine needs 40 attempts this year from the free throw line to be able to qualify to be in the top 10 all-time in free throw percentage.
2 for 2 that time for Jimmy John. 12-6. Bobcats have doubled up the Colts here at the 1-minute mark. McCall. Phillips out on top. Webster at the high post has it, kicks it to the corner. Todd didn't get it up, but McCall did. His 3 no good. Todd's 3 on the rebound kick out off the mark as well. And the Colts cold from the perimeter right now. They can heat that up and hurry though. Perkins on the penetration and the ball kicked as he tried to bounce it inside through the defense. With 30 seconds left, Cats will have a baseline play coming up. Moore for the Bobcats on the trigger. Gets it to Slaughter. And they'll bring it back on top. Maybe hold for 1 here. If you're the Bobcats and you can get away with it. Got a little delay, a little triangle out on top. With 20 on the clock. Got to wonder. Got to be Perkins handling the ball here in the last 10, right?
Well, you would think so. And
a timeout taken as the ball got loose on the floor. Only 9 seconds left. We'll keep it here as the Bobcats take their first timeout, a 30-second timeout on the night. And now Caleb Bond is going to check back in during the timeout. Probably see him handle the ball and penetrate and kick.
Well, and penetrate and kick, but that also takes the pressure off of Perkins to have the ball out front, so you can put him on the block to be able to make a nice move inside. So, and have the dish to Valentine on the other block if Perkins gets
let's see if Bond can do a good enough job of drawing defense to him. Can he get Slaughter an open look at the 3, or you got 2 big guys down on the block. If somebody steps up to top the penetration, you can hand it off left or right.
Sure. Yeah, and with 9 seconds to go, you got a couple opportunities to make some passes to be able to set up that play.
Colts have been playing man-to-man, and will do so here. Bond with it, looks for the pick, got it out on top. Valentine pulls up for his own 3, cashes in. Caleb Bond. Well, that was the other option we didn't talk about. Just pull up and drop the 3.
Sure.
Cats lead it by 10. Could this be an upset night? Timeout as we head to the second period. Bobcats lead it 16-6. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Chronic issues do not disappear just because COVID is here. Whether you are experiencing pain in your knee, tingling in your fingers, or a sore back, Superior Med Orthopedics is here for you. Superior Med Orthopedics patients' health and safety is their top priority, and they currently offer telehealth visits for your initial appointment. Take comfort in knowing when you come to Superior Med Orthopedics facility, they are following all protocols to ensure you remain safe. Find out all their team offers by visiting seormc.org today.
Back at Gene Ford Court, 1 period in the books. A late surge by the Bobcats, dropping a couple of dimes from outside the three-point arc, and they lead it 16-6 as Caleb Bond hits the buzzer beater. I don't know if the Bobcats have played a better quarter all year.
That was, I would say, other than the 3 turnovers that I have them down for, a little sloppy early, right? Again, we talked about the quickness and and trying to get the jitters out. But I think you're right. Certainly one of the best quarters they've played.
Parker Long checked in for the Bobcats. Singleton pulls up, long deuce, and he'll drop it in. There's the guy that can get you back in the game in a hurry. His first points of the night. Jake Singleton with the 2. Makes it 16-8. They gave the points on the scoreboard to the wrong person. The Bobcats tried to go over the top. Davis Singleton with the steal. Will take it back to the hoop. And 1. So Davis Singleton back in the game with a couple of fouls, but immediately getting things done here on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, that certainly didn't take long, number one, to get Singleton back in the groove, but number 2, you saw the pressure and the quickness of the Colts.
Could not knock down the free throw. Rebound to Perkins, 16-10. Bond. Perkins left side now more against man pressure. Takes the high pick, look for the roll, not there. Work the right side. Perkins knocked out of his hand by Davis Singleton. Jake picks it up, head to the hoop, scoops it up left hand, not there, no foul. And Perkins follows up with a rebound.
That's the 5th turnover so far for Cambridge in the game.
Yeah, the Colts have had their share as well.
Yeah, they have. And a lot of quick hands out there.
Perkins looked for the feed down low. Valentine pushed a little further away from the basket than he'd like to be, and they'll reset out on top. Cork and Slaughter waiting at the scorer's table for the Bobcats. 6.5 left. First half, Cats lead at 16-10. Cats showing good patience here. Perkins against Davis Singleton, now on the switch. They'll swing it to Bond. Cut off on the drive attempt. And they'll reset.
And taking their time to get the shot that they want with your best player on the bench is not a bad philosophy.
Yeah, they'll get him back in here in a minute. Cats have used some time. Webster on the switch against Bond. Cats have probably taken about 45 seconds here. Works the right side more. Trapped out there in a 5-second call. Well, I don't know. That was pretty quick, but Moore really didn't attack the basket any, and he got doubled out there, and it kept him away. So the Cats turned it over again. But it's certainly slowing the tempo of the game down when they do that.
Well, but when you do that, you got to get a good shot, right? You certainly can't have a turnover, and definitely not one with a 5-second call.
Todd McCall out on top.
Cats back in the zone again.
Right side. Jake Singleton off the dribble now. Swing pass left side. Bond again. Playing the steal. And his shot blocked. Good hustle play by Todd, who comes up with it. Runs the fast break the other way. Singleton, yes. Jake Singleton runs the floor as well as anyone. And nice pass from the far side. And Todd, 16-12. Bobcats led it by 10 at one point. Now handle pressure. Then into the half-court set again. Colts settle back, looks like maybe into a little matchup. Slaughter left side. Perkins 440. And counting. Slaughter off the pick. Inside feed. Cork to the hoop. Not there. No foul. Loose ball on the floor. Bond down after it. Now Valentine into the fray. Tipped out. And the Cats will control and get the timeout and the possession. As soon as the Bobcats got hands on that ball, Coach Slaughter calling the TO. We'll take it with him. 16-12. Cats on top. We'll be back right after this.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
Back at Coach Ford Court. Tonight's game being streamed live as well on YRP TV. I want to thank West 40 BuyPay here, WB Green, Park National Bank, Southeastern Med for their efforts there. As the Cats with the ball in the lead by 4:20 left in the half. Bond challenged out on top by Todd. Now gets it to Valentine. Double down. He backs his way in, and another charge called. Webster's drawn a couple of those tonight. And as soon as he feels any contact, he goes down. That one, the first one I thought was definitely a charge. That one, he gets an A for drama.
He did. I would agree with you. But again, how many times have I said it already? You have to know your officiating crew. We said it from the get-go. These guys are definitely not going to give leniency to the offense if somebody hits the floor.
Just a third team foul on the Bobcats. First on Valentine. Out on top, Singleton, pull up three. Off the rim, high rebound, and Davis Singleton had it, and they'll say, no, Perkins touched it last. It will stay Colt ball, 16-12, baseline left side, and McCall on the trigger. Out on top, Jake Singleton. Cats step out on him. Now over to Todd. McCall back out to Todd. Singleton heads baseline, little floater blocked. And I think was that Cork or Perkins
that
stepped
was
out there.
Cork.
Yeah,
that was Cork.
He's moving up the blocks chart. That's another one for him. Trying to move up that top 10 list. Singleton takes the inbound and Pond there again. Bond working that passing lane on the far side. He's already had a couple of steals and nearly a third there.
Yeah, Cats getting a little bit more pressure out of that three-point line. I think they're pretty frustrated after New Philly and Warren did that.
Inside feed, Davis Singleton posts up and then just jumped over top of Valentine and dropped it in for his 8th point of this first half. Some pressure by the Colts. Bond gets it across the timeline to Perkins. As the Colts drop back, Perkins in the corner to Slaughter. Looked at the three. Davis Singleton out on him in a hurry. Now to Perkins, trying to back his way in. Back out on top to Bond. Under 3 to play. Cats 10-point lead down to a deuce. They have not scored in this period. Here's the three. Slaughter. Cha-ching! Right on cue, right?
Sure was.
Haven't scored in a long time, almost 5 minutes. 5+ minutes. As the Bobcats extend their lead, 19-14. Webster, and again, Bond with a hand on it. And Coach Tolsdorf off the bench said, bounce pass. How many times has the coach ever said that? Wish I had a nickel for every time I've heard it.
I still hear that in my dreams from Coach Ford.
Bounce pass with that face, yeah. 2:20. Right corner. Singleton three. Cha-ching! Jake Singleton, 7 in the period to bring his team back from a 10-point deficit. It is a 2-point margin right now. Slaughter had a 3, shuffled the feet as Singleton came and closed him out. I think if he launches it, he gets it up, but he just had one blocked a minute ago and not going to do that.
Yeah, the one thing that, look, Colton Slaughter has a nice feel for that shot, right? But the one thing he needs to work on is what? A little bit quicker shot.
Yep,
he gets
get it off quicker.
Got to learn as he gets a little bit older.
Shoot it.
Got to get that off a little quicker.
Under 2 to play. Inside out look. Singleton. No, but he got it right back to the top of the key. Down the lane, hard to the hoop and to the line. Go Jerome Todd. Did they call the foul there? No, jump ball.
No, he called it on Slaughter.
Okay.
11.
Oh, I saw 11. I thought when he pointed in the air, I thought that was a jump ball. So Slaughter does pick up his first. team's 5th.
And great ball movement by the Colts. You see how quickly Todd got to the hole.
And then attack again.
Right, and kicked it out there to Singleton, too.
Inside feed, McCall to Singleton, to the paint, nope. And over the back, yes, I think they're going to call Jerome Todd, yes, his second foul on the rebound attempt.
Good box out there by the junior Parker Long.
But the Cats maintain the advantage, 19-17, 140 left, nearly the steal in the backcourt by Todd. Up ahead, Slaughter had it, tried to step back and shoot three, nearly the travel again. Inside feed, Perkins, wrap-around layup, and Sean Perkins, first bucket of the night. Cats lead it again by 4.
Yeah, I would say that Slaughter definitely shuffled his feet again.
A little nervous there. Yeah. Phillips out on top. Singleton in the corner. Back to Phillips. Back to Singleton, nearly over his head as Parker Long closed him out. Inside shake and thank Jerome Todd's first bucket as he flashed, got a good pass and finished.
I think the key word is flashed. I mean, yes, that boy is quick.
In a heartbeat.
Yes.
Bond back to Perkins across the timeline. Bounce pass into a double team. Under a minute, 40 seconds left. Cats with a 2-point lead and the ball in the arrow. If they can hold on to it. Bond penetrates, kicks it. Long back to the top. Now Feldner. Davis Singleton on him. Finds Long. One dribble maybe. I thought he picked it up too soon as the ball knocked out of the hand. Which will allow Tyler Lacey to check in for Phillips.
Yeah, you would think that the Cats would put somebody there in the middle of the floor at the foul line to be able to help with
yeah, 17 seconds. Cats with the ball. And now a chance to get into a set here, leading by 2. Left side, Slaughter. Lacey steps out on him, back out on top. Long nearly lost the handle. Hand off, and now Perkins with one takes a deep three that hits the back of the rim. Cats could not get into the set that they wanted, but they will get into the locker room with a lead. We head to the halftime break. Cambridge 21, Meadowbrook 19 as the Cats control the tempo here in the first half. We'll take a break. And when we come back, the Cambridge dance team taking the floor. JV and I will be around for stats, scoring, and get you set up for the second half right after these messages.
Are you paying?
Dental, pediatric, women's, pharmacy, and transportation services, as well as behavioral health. We accept all patients. Make your appointment today if you're not feeling well.
When it's game night, let Papa John's Pizza on Southgate Parkway feed your team after the game. Hey, this is Shannon. You can create your pizza with all your favorite toppings or pick one of our specialty pizzas like the Super Hawaiian, the Philly cheesesteak, the Works, or the Fiery Buffalo Chicken. Don't forget we also have chicken poppers, wings, breadsticks, and cheese sticks too. Call 740-439-PAPA. That's 439-7272 or order from your phone at papajohns.com.
Back at Gene Ford Court, as on the streaming side, we're kind of awaiting the Cambridge dance team. They'll be out here in a moment to perform. They've been in some competitions, and they're making their way out there. We'll let the streaming side take that away. on the radio side, we can still talk a little bit basketball, I'd say here, JV.
Sure.
The first half, the Bobcats hang in there. They had a 16-6 lead at the end of the first period. And then the Colts came out and just steadily whittled that down to about 2 points in the second half. They actually held the Cats scoreless for a little over 5 minutes at the beginning of that period before the Cats finally able to strike. Colton Slaughter enters with a 3. Sean Perkins knocked down a 2, and Cats able to maintain a margin here at halftime, 21-19. And for those of you listening on the radio, you're not able to enjoy the cheerleaders here as they do their routine. But your thoughts after that first half?
Well, the tale of two quarters, I think. More for Meadowbrook than Cambridge, but there was an effect there for Cambridge too. But basically, Cambridge shot the ball really well in the first quarter. As we had said, that's probably their best first quarter they've had all season. Shot 66% in the first quarter, and the opposite was true for Meadowbrook, who only shot 28% in the first quarter. However, flip that coin, and Cambridge only gets 5 shots off in the second quarter, where Meadowbrook went up and down the floor several times, got 10 shots off, and shot 60% in the second quarter. So certainly the tale of 2 quarters from a shooting perspective. Now, from a turnover perspective, a little bit of the same. I only had the Colts with 3 turnovers in the first quarter and none in the second, and I got the Cats with 7 turnovers total, 4 of which were in the second quarter. So a little bit more ball pressure by the Colts, and which led to less shots by the Cats, but also the Cats tried to slow it down a little bit and steal some minutes with Cork on the bench when you were up 4 points too. So Colts were having none of that. They wanted to get up and down the floor as quick as they could, and they did. You see how explosive Jake Singleton and Jerome Todd are for sure, and Todd especially. He was flying all over the place, both defensively and on the offensive end.
Well, the Colts have so many weapons. They've got 5 guys that they could be the leading scorer on any given night.
Right.
If you choose to isolate them and get them the ball tonight, that guy's been Davis Singleton. He had 4 in the first, 4 in the second, picked up a couple of fouls, and actually watched a lot of basketball in that first half. But when he was in the game, he was the difference maker at both ends of the floor. Defensively, having some nice plays. Is the Cambridge dance team doing a fine job there, wrapping up their routine. I don't know if maybe that's it, huh? We don't have a second. All right. And then Jake Singleton, who we know is instant offense. He was scoreless in the first period, but dropped 7 in that second period pretty quickly.
Yeah, real quickly. And Davis Singleton the same way. As soon as he came in the game, after taking a little break with a couple of those fouls, boy, he came in right away and put the ball up a couple times. And again, you can see how mature that Davis Singleton is, working inside and outside. He can shoot from the outside, but he can certainly play inside, and he's going to have to. For the Colts to be able to be successful this season, when they play teams that have a little bit of size, he's going to have to be able to play inside a little bit, and he can play defense inside as well. You saw he put some pressure on us down here too, or on Cambridge. But you see he can elevate on the offensive end too. You saw him get over Valentine once and over somebody else as well down there. So he can get his shots off inside and still be able to clean up the boards too.
Colts with 4 guys in the scoring column. Drew Webster, a couple of free throws. Jerome Todd, 2. Singleton and Singleton, 7 and 8 for Jake and Davis for the Bobcats. 6 for Colton Slaughter off the bench, a 3 in each quarter. Dominic Cork hit an early 3, had 5 in the first period. A couple of fouls, and he watched much of the rest of the first half. Rock Valentine, 3 points, all at the foul line tonight. Owen Feldner off the bench for 2, and Caleb Bond hit that buzzer beater at the end of the first period for a 3. We stand at halftime, 21-19, Bobcats. We'll take one more break. Second half coming up right after this.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
I was sitting in my car, and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood, and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? my eyes filled with tears. And on the radio, I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
I'm Malcolm. I'm a commercial cash management specialist, but I'm also a leader and a musician.
At Park National Bank, we're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. You get personal attention and direct access to a caring, compassionate banker who respects and responds to your needs and goals. Find Malcolm or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more. Member FDIC, parknationalbank.com.
Strike three, you're out!
Pitchers can throw perfect games. Bowlers can bowl perfect games. But there's no such thing as a perfect church. Churches are made up of imperfect people. People who have had their hearts broken and their dreams shattered. Church is for people who need hope, who need forgiveness, and who need to learn to forgive. Church is for people like you and me. Join us at Stop 9 Church of Christ, 9:30 Sunday morning. The imperfect church where you can find God's perfect love. And celebrate the victory God has won for you.
Back at Coach Ford Court, halftime winding down. Cambridge on top by 2. 21-19. Both teams get a little warm up in there. Want to thank a few more of our streaming sponsors tonight. Schaefer Insurance, Muskingum Valley Health Centers, Papa John's of Cambridge, Valentine Insurance, Abel's Electric, and Doan Ford. Thank you for your support of our broadcast tonight as we stream tonight's game for a couple of hundred people we got online watching and listening. And Ray Sims is one of them, by the way.
Ray Sims is one. We want to.
By the way, he's good. He's just quarantined.
He's feeling good. He's still working on the stats we heard.
I don't know if he's pacing back and forth, not being able to be here. A streak of, what do we say, 500.
1997
games.
That's crazy.
In a row.
That's dedication, boys. That's for sure. And another guy that's stuck at home too. I got to let him give him a shout out to Cambridge junior Adam Smith. Laying on the couch eating bonbons tonight.
And Dad, too.
Now, here's the kicker, though. He says, man, give me a shout-out, Johnny. What's going on? I said, the only way I'm going to do it, Adam, is if you finally agree that Kiss is one of the best rock bands of all time. I've got it here. True. I can read you the text. He agreed to it. So
okay.
There you go. Hope you're doing well, Adam.
Bobcats will have the opening possession as Valentine sets a rock-hard pick out on top. Perkins. Got a low to Cork, little jump hook, short of the mark, and rebound, Jake Singleton. To Davis, cut off. Bond nearly with the steal. Jake pull up 15, no. Rebound. Davis stick back, yes. We are tied. Davis Singleton with 10 now. And wow, he's so quick.
Smooth, and he can get up. You know, he's 6'2", 6'3", probably closer to 6'3".
Yeah.
And he can elevate, and he's got a nice soft touch.
Perkins skips it across the top to Moore. Back down low. Cork inside out. Perkins had the three, passed it up, attacks the hoop and lays it up and in. John Perkins had a wide open look at a three, but he's been struggling there and passed it up. McCall gives it up. Valentine out ahead to Perkins, and he just fell down as he tried to control the ball to the floor. McCall will head to the line as Valentine bodied him up. So a couple of turnovers back and forth there, and Bobcats end up on the short end of that stick. Valentine picking up his second foul. And McCall will head to the line and shoot two. He has not scored tonight, but been very active at both ends.
And Jonah has a nice soft touch, and not there on that free throw, but he can handle the ball. He's aggressive on defense. You see he's long, right, and lengthy. He can play some defense, and usually has a pretty good touch from the foul line.
Jonah second, 0 for 2. And Paddle on a rebound, and Bond comes up with it up ahead to Moore. nearly drug the foot. Cats lead it by 2, 23-21. 6.5 as the Colts go man again. Bond looking down low. Gets it into Valentine. A little head and shoulders fake. And over the top, Davis Singleton could not contain himself. And he will pick up his third foul. So goes Tulsa with a decision here. And you leave your stud senior in there, as Valentine will head to the line and shoot 2 more. That's where all his points came in the first half. And he starts out here in much the same fashion, dropping it in.
Yeah, a little surprised that the Cats didn't attack Singleton a little bit more in the first half when he had 2, and likewise, the Colts didn't attack Cork when he was back in there.
Valentine, 2 for 2 that time, 5 for 6 at the line on the night. Cats lead it by 4. He might get to that 40 mark here pretty quickly if he keeps that up. Singleton 3, cha-ching! Jake Singleton, his second 3. He's got 10, and the lead down to a point. As the Colts trap at half court, Valentine checked that. Perkins had a tip to Cork, to the paint, and Tier drops it in. First point since the opening period for Dominic Cork.
Yeah, 2 guys that have to score. Cork has to score, and Singleton has to score to keep their teams in the game.
Back out on top, Davis Singleton trying to go down low and hit off the leg of Cork. They'll call that a kick.
Yeah, that was, I don't know if it was quite a kick.
More off his knee or his shin, but
right.
In any case, Slaughter will check in. Valentine steps out, 27-24 Cats. And McCall, inside feet. And Davis to Jake, to the hoop and in.
I don't know if you could get an easier inbound play than that. Cats caught sleeping.
Toughest part of it was the catch by Davis Singleton. Perkins over the top to beat the pressure. 1 point Bobcat lead, 5.5 left here in the third. Perkins left side, looks down low. Cork bodied up by Webster and put the jump hook up. No good the first time. Second time, no. And Davis Singleton will clear it and push it. Lobs it to the corner. Jake looked at the 3. He got away with the shuffle. And the 3 ball by Todd off the mark. Cork will pull it down, and the Cats will push it. Slaughter back to Bond. And this one in and out for Perkins on that 3 attempt. And Jake Singleton on the run out. And he got tripped up at half court by Perkins, and he'll pick up the foul there, his first. Perkins caught that thing in rhythm and thought, why not? And it rimmed in and out.
Yeah, it was a good shot, really,
Yeah.
and a wide open shot. He's got to be able to knock some of those down, so you can't fault him for that shot. And Sean has a tendency to get his legs. He's all arms and legs, right?
Yes.
Look at him. He tends to get his legs too far apart on those shots, so he can't use his legs. But that was a good shot.
Colts down a point. Bobcats stay in zone here with Perkins on the bench, so a little bit shorter. Backdoor pass. Wrap around, look inside, and into the hands of Slaughter. And the Cats come up with yet another steal. Bond up ahead, Slaughter in the corner, now back to Bond, and he'll work it to the middle of the court. Jake Singleton, a lot quicker than people give him credit for.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
Down low, Valentine got the defense in the air. Paratrooper Club as Lacey, her chick that actually Jerome Todd, picks up his third as he climbed all the way up to the shoulders to check out that new hairdo.
He got up.
He was all the way up there.
I think his legs may have been on Brock's shoulders.
Valentine once again to the line, and he is on fire there. 75% coming in. And now 6 of 7, I should say, and number 8 coming up here. McCall sits down and drops it in. And the Cats staying on top, 29-26, halfway through this third period. Lacey, left wing. Webster, right side, Jake Singleton. He's hit a couple of threes in the game. Going to need a lot more to keep the Colts hanging around here. Down low, Davis Singleton slash, kick. back at him and couldn't get it to go. Webster got the rebound and shoved it before the shot. No, they'll count the bucket. As Webster with the offensive rebound and a three-point play chance to try to tie this thing up.
Great hustle there by Drew Webster to be able to get after that loose ball. Not real sure about the call, but
Valentine picks up his third quick. So,
but yeah,
just like that, we got a bunch of guys with 3 fouls,
and somebody's going to get. Those are going to catch up to a couple of these guys here real quick.
Webster 2 for 2 early, can't get this one. Long rebound to Jake Singleton, and now the Colts can take the lead for the first time since early. Singleton baseline pull up and squatted. Perkins got that one, his second block of the night. As Cork will check back in, Valentine will get a little break here with 3:35 left. He's got 3 fouls and 7 points. Jake Singleton 3, front rim, no good. Rebound by Perkins.
Yeah, Cats can't let Singleton have wide open looks like that. He's going to knock those down for sure.
More often than not.
Yes.
Perkins looks for the post feed. Cork can't get there. Slaughter shuffled him again and got away with it.
Sure did.
Coach Tolles to stomp on the feet. He thought that could have been a call that his team might get. Coming up on the 3-minute mark, Cats with the lead in the ball. Perkins off the dribble drive, puts up the floater, got the roll. John Perkins being aggressive with the ball. Colts on the attack again. Davis Singleton quickly into the half court. Jake faking the 3. To Webster. Back out on top, and there's Bond again. With the steal to the hoop, lays it up and in. Caleb Bond doesn't score much, but he creates a lot. 33-28. Davis Singleton to the hoop and to the line. And if that's on Cork, it's his third. And it is.
And you
Cork
see the,
with 3.
Then you see the
with 3.
quickness there of Singleton, too.
He impresses me not only with that kind of quickness, but how quickly he can get up and down and up and down.
He can do everything really well. And if you look at him, he's a big body. I mean, he's got some meat on him, too, right? So, and he can handle the ball. He handles the ball a lot for the Colts as well.
Drops that one in, his 11th point of the night, 33-29 it should be, I believe. And the second one, no. As Perkins comes up with that rebound. 2.5 left here in the third. Bobcats staying on top. Smoke and mirrors, folks. Smoke and mirrors, right? No magic. Nice high-low pass. Cork down low. Couldn't get it to go. Tapped out. Todd with it on the run out. McCall, yes. His first points of the night. 33-31 Cambridge. Perkins across the court. Attacks inside out. Back out on top. Bond to Slaughter. Boy, Cork had a good look at a 3, but just wasn't in rhythm. Probably a good thing to pass it up.
Yeah, if you're not comfortable, you got to get somebody who is.
Cork lobbing it inside. Perkins got the defense in the ear. Up and underneath. Sean Perkins, 6 in the period. Cats extend the lead again. Jake Singleton.
And you see the Colts getting down the floor so quickly.
And that pass from Singleton stolen away once again by Bond. Great defense. Slaughter, stop and pop, in and out. Tap back out. Bond to Slaughter again. 2 for a quarter, no. Wouldn't take the second.
He thought about it.
Yeah, he did. I don't know, Dad right in your back ear there might have said, nah. 4-point Bobcat lead in the ball. Coming up on a minute. He'll take this one from the deep 3 corner. Not there. Rebound. McCall. Kick out. Singleton. Down the lane. Yes. Count. That's almost automatic. He gets going to the hoop.
Right.
He's got such a nice touch inside. 2-point game. Bond trapped in the backcourt. Steps through it and ahead to Slaughter. 40 on the clock. As the Bobcats looking like they're trying to delay here maybe a little bit.
Trying to catch their breath, I would guess.
Yeah, this game's going back and forth a little bit. Feldner into the game along with Bond and Perkins as the Cats run a little triangle delay here at the end of the period. Perkins all the way down, kicks it to Cork in the corner. Cats at the 14-second mark get it back out on top. Did this earlier and did not get the look they want. Here they'll give it up. Davis Singleton came up with a loose ball and tapped out of bounds. Bond got a piece of it because that was fast break into making. And now they got to set up, and the Cats can play some defense with 3 seconds to go.
Well, and this would give the Cats an opportunity to get back on defense. One thing that Meadowbrook's doing really well is they're getting out in transition very quickly and catching the Cats off guard.
Colts will take their first time out of the night. We'll stay here with just 3.1 to go. So Coach told to going to draw something up here, and I got to be thinking you're going to try to get the ball to Jake Singleton maybe for a long three. Todd can shoot the long three.
That's the thing. You got three really good options there from the three-point line, and that's not necessarily needing a three here, right? Heck, it's still a 2-point game, and we're only at the end of the third. However, I'm definitely going to have Todd on one side and probably Davis on the other side, and have Jake Singleton take the ball to the hole and pick up another foul on the Cats, maybe two. If not that, then I would guess that Davis is going to get inside somehow.
McCall's going to be on the trigger across half court.
Looks like they're going to set up a play here for Jake Singleton. Davis Singleton going to come down and set a pick for Jake.
Davis comes down, sets the pick. Couldn't get it to him. Then they go to Davis. He'll catch it, shoot it. Bank off the buzzer. Cha-ching! As he gets swarmed. We've had a couple buzzer beaters tonight. Davis Singleton at the end of three, and the Colts take the momentum and the lead into the fourth period, 36-35. We'll be back right after this.
Chronic issues do not disappear just because COVID is here. Whether you are experiencing pain in your knee, tingling in your fingers, or a sore back, Superior Med Orthopedics is here for you. Superior Med Orthopedics patients' health and safety is their top priority, and they currently offer telehealth visits for your initial appointment. Take comfort in knowing when you come to Superior Med Orthopedics facility, they are following all protocols to ensure you remain safe. Find out all their team offers by visiting seormc.org today.
Back at Gene Ford Court, 36-35. The Colts take a timeout, set up a last 3-second play. Can't get it to the guy they want, but plan B worked out pretty well.
I'd say.
Davis Singleton comes down, sets a pick, rolls off that, takes it, and with two guys draped all over him, kicks it in.
I heard him call bank before he let go.
Went in.
Right, but you can't blame him. My goodness, he's trying to get between two guys, and just to get the shot off was pretty impressive for Singleton.
This has been the Davis and Jake show tonight, as Davis was 16, Jake with 12. As we head to the fourth period, the Colts get the momentum, they get the lead, and now they get the ball to start the fourth period. Both teams with the starters back on, plus Lacey for the Colts. Davis Singleton over to Jake. To Todd on top. Lacey, and he shuffled, yes. Lacey, the running back, he saw a wide open lane and headed to the basket, but did not get it down quick enough. And so the Colts will turn it back over to the Bobcats, who trail it for the first time since the first period. Trapped in the backcourt, and Perkins stayed calm and cool and collected that time and didn't make a bad pass. He threw it out of bounds off of defense, and the Cats will be able to reset here. To Bond. Back to Perkins. Bond, and now trying to edge his way across the timeline. Beats the double team. Penetrates. Finds Valentine to the hoop. And one to the line. His first field goal of the night. And a free throw, which has just about been automatic tonight for the big guy, as Lacey checks out Webster back in for the Colts. 7:25 left. Bobcats retake the lead. And Valentine cashes in again. He got 7 in a row. Ba-boom.
He's heating up.
38-36. Cats hanging around. Colts against the Cats zone have just not been able to consistently hit threes. McCall back to Webster. He'll try his hand. Nope. Rebound, tap back out. Kept alive. Cork with it. Out ahead to Perkins. and he tried to pass it across, knocked away by McCall. And the Cats will hold on to it as they'll call the block on McCall. As Perkins tried to go baseline. Could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We know McCall's quick, got there in a hurry. He'll pick up his second. Team's third. And Moore looks inside, trying to get it inside to Perkins, but the loose ball picked up by Bond. Yeah, I come back to Perkins. Caleb Bond, a great defensive game tonight, has hit a couple of shots, but played all around real well. Gets it inside. Valentine, defense in the air, got a little bit of it from the top. And a foul on the contested play there, and McCall picks up another quick one, his third. So Todd with 3, McCall with 3, Davis Singleton with 3, and 6:31 to go in the ball game. Bobcats have Cork on the inbounds, lob it into Perkins, trying to go against a double team, trap there, and Davis Singleton comes up with a loose ball, leads the run out, and off the glass, no good. Tapped off the hands that time of Todd, and it goes back to the ball, to the Bobcats. And boy, the Colts had a golden opportunity there to get points. The officials not in concert there on the substitution. Perkins brings it up, finds Moore in the paint, and he'll put a shot up and in. Caden Moore's first point tonight coming at key time. Cats back on top by 4. 6-minute mark.
Yeah, if I were Meadowbrook, I'd try to attack that middle a little
3,
bit.
no. And Bond with a long rebound. Jake Singleton just hasn't been quite on the mark with that 3 tonight.
No, and for that reason, I'd be trying to get that ball inside to Davis Singleton. He's smooth, and the Cats' big guys have some fouls on
I
him.
don't think Davis is missed.
No.
And a timeout, Bobcats. They'll have a couple of left. 5:38 left to go, and we'll keep it here for this one. This is that point in the game, and I think this is a good timeout probably by Coach Slaughter for a couple points. One is, your team isn't in great game shape yet.
Right, absolutely.
And you haven't been able to go that deep to the bench. They probably need a little bit of a break here, so you can get them some oxygen and strategize a little bit about, all right, let's make sure we get a good look here.
Right.
Up 4, let's try to make it 6 or 7.
And 2 things that I would point out is, number 1, we have to take care of the ball with your Cambridge, right? That's if I'm Coach Slaughter, I'm saying you have to take care of the ball, number 1. And number 2, you have to get back in transition defense. The Colts are so quick, and they're pushing the ball. If you're going to give them easy buckets, they're going to get back in this game really quick and take the lead, and they're just going to get away from you. So that's the conversation I'm having in there. And that you need a really good shot.
Yeah, right. You're having that conversation with me. We would be doing this no matter where we were at.
Right. And likewise, for Coach Tolsdale, I'm sure he's saying, listen, there's no reason to get crazy. Quit making these little touch fouls down here. Don't give them extra opportunities. We're fine. Take care of the ball, and let's pound the ball into Davis Singleton.
Colts still have 4 timeouts. Cats with 2 as they inbound it to Bond. Todd picks him up out on top off the pick and the switch. Bond now to Slaughter, trying to feed it down low. Double team in there, and Davis Singleton with the steal. Up ahead, Jake to the hoop for 2.
The exact opposite of what we just said they needed to do, right?
But
you got to get back in.
Yeah.
No, you can't. And they were trying to get Davis Singleton one-on-one and get in their foul on him. And I think that's the right call, but you got to get back in transition.
Colts do a nice job of doubling there as the ball kicked around and touched last by the Colts. Davis Singleton stepping up here and making plays everywhere.
Yeah, offensively and defensively.
5:08 left in the game. Cats lead by 2. Slaughter in the corner, looking for the post, not there. Cork just didn't have a clear line of sight.
No, but I think you go right back to it. You get Davis on his hip and see what happens.
Davis Singleton with 4 fouls as Perkins shoved from behind by Todd, and now Jerome Todd has 4, and that is the 6th team foul on the Colts, so the Cats will get to the bonus here on the next foul.
And again, if you're on that Cambridge bench, assistant coach, I think I'd be telling Coach Slaughter, hey man, they got 6. We got to get the ball inside and get 7.
Perkins gets it into Cork. Webster on him. Little jump hook, left it short again. Rebound tapped around. Davis Singleton controls it, and he'll bring it half court, top of the key. Works his way down the lane for the floater and drops it in. He was not going to be denied. He was going to get there.
He is not going to be stopped going to the hole. But Cambridge has to recognize that and be able to take a charge, too. I mean, there's been 3 of them called already.
Saw a guy on the floor there, but it did not get called. 40 apiece with 4:25 left. Valentine waits at the scorer's table. Bond out on top. Takes Singleton on him. Left side, Slaughter. Closed out. Back to Cork, kicks it to the corner. Perkins, 3, not there. Tapped around on the rebound. And they'll say touch last by the Bobcat. They Felder over the back there, got a piece of that. I don't know. I thought it was more touched by the Colts, but it could have gone either way.
Yeah, it looked like it, but, Owen couldn't really get up into him, right, without, didn't want to pick up that foul.
Halfway through, Colts with a chance to take the lead. First time in a while. It's early in this game. Valentine back in the game. Him and Perkins down low. Feldner, Slaughter, and Bond out on top.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have for the Colts to be able to have 3 guys just hang out at the 3-point line.
And a timeout. Colts. Coach Tolda did not like the way that offensive possession was going, and his team just kind of passing around, and there wasn't much movement. So they'll take the timeout. We will, too. Brand new ball game, 40 apiece, back in 30 seconds.
Heating, cooling, electrical, and refrigeration. To explain how, since 1967, Abels has built such a strong foothold in Southeast Ohio.
My grandfather, Jerry, started this business at his kitchen table from home. The one thing that he stressed to all of us was to always be honest and to have a strong set of moral principles. The entire team at Abels strives to make certain that these principles are followed in everything that we do.
That's the Abels difference. Abels Heating, Cooling, Electrical, and Refrigeration. One company, one goal, your comfort.
Back at Coach Ford Court, tied at 40 apiece. Colts with the possession coming out of their timeout. Expect this to be a look either for Jake or Davis Singleton. Of course, it has been most of the night, so that's a pretty good bet.
Yeah, way to go out on a limb there.
Jake on the low baseline, Davis up on top. And McCall will take the inbounds here. Work against the pick. There's the pick in the corner. Back out on top. Back to Jake. Closed out on the 3. And they'll reset now. Cold showing as much patience as we've seen him tonight.
Yeah, definitely want to get the shot that they want. Tie game, 3 minutes to go. Trying to get a one-on-one look here with Davis, I would guess, inside.
Yeah, trying to flash him across the lane. Couldn't get him. And then they'll go back to the top. Now Coach Tolton said, let's get some motion going. Move a little bit.
Yep.
Standing around too much.
Jake Singleton running the baseline.
Todd for 3. Touching. Cats have been laying off of him, and eventually he just took it and dropped it in. 43-40. Perkins up ahead. Valentine finds Slaughter in the corner. Back out on top now. The Cats down 3 for the first time since the first period. 2:25 and counting. Down low. Valentine. Davis Singleton in the air. And now to the line as Davis picks up foul number 4. Valentine has done a nice job tonight catching the ball, getting the defense in the air, a little head and shoulders fake that time, showing the ball, and Singleton picks up his 4th. And Valentine back to the line to shoot 2. Rattled that one around, but it stays down.
Substitution number 34.
That's his 10th free throw attempt tonight.
Well, and again, we talked about that a couple times. Pre-game and then a little bit during the broadcast. We need him at the foul line.
On net. Bobcats down a point with 2:20 to go. Colts with the lead in the ball, 43-42.
Huge possession here, really for both teams. Defensively, for the Cats to be able to get back into it, but to build some confidence and a little cushion for the
Perkins
Colts.
out on top of those long arms. Making the Colts try to throw it over top of him. Now a triple team. I don't know what the Cats were thinking there. They had three guys going after the ball. Somebody's wide open and fortunately got a piece of the ball and knocked it out of bounds. So McCall will take it out of bounds. Cats make a substitution. Valentine out. And Feldner back in. And the Colts will burn another timeout. And we can keep it here for this one and spend part of that thanking our sponsors again for tonight's YRP TV action. West 40 Auto, WB Green Insurance, Patrons Buckeye Mutual, Park National Bank, Southeastern Med, Doan Ford, Abel's Electric, and then a Valentine Insurance, MVHC, and Schaefer Insurance. Thank you all for helping us bring you this streaming broadcast of what has been a great game.
It really has. Really back and forth, both teams. Nobody really going on a scoring spree, right? But really good defense, some good inside out, tale of a couple different quarters. Cats look good. Colts come back, pretty even in the third. And now we're shooting for pretty even in the fourth so far. And
Cats at the end of one, Cambridge led it 16-6 on a late surge. Colts outscored the Cats 13-5 in the second period to make it a 2-point game. Cambridge at halftime. The Colts, a late buzzer shot, and they take the 1-point lead heading into the fourth. And here we are, a 1-point ball game with 2 minutes to go in the game. And I'd say the next possession each way is huge.
Yeah, absolutely critical, really, for both teams to put the ball in the hole during this possession.
Davis Singleton will take the inbounds and work Cork out on top. Cork has 3 fouls. Because the Cats switch man-to-man back to Davis Singleton, cut off in the paint, and back to Webster. So the Cambridge out of the timeout switches from that zone, which they've been in all night long. Davis Singleton trying to take Cork off the dribble, couldn't get it done. No motion now to McCall with Bond on him, and Bond on the reach and nearly came up with the loose ball. And there was a shove both ways there as McCall tried to keep Bond off of him, but Bond on the reach in.
Sure. Well, and that's going to get called more times than
his first, team's fifth.
Trying to protect yourself on defense. The reach is going to
Bobcats
get
still
called.
have a foul to give. 1:27 to go. Colts with a 1-point lead in the ball. And, as Coach told to tell him here, hey, we're not taking a shot unless it's a layup. We got the lead.
Sure. Unless they get Davis Singleton on Colton Slaughter one-on-one inside again. There was a huge mismatch there a second ago. They missed it.
Colts running a nice delay here. Tap from behind by Perkins. Bond comes up within the Bobcats with the ball. A minute on the clock and counting, and down the point. And Coach Slaughter will use one of his 2 remaining timeouts. And a chance to think about it.
And it's a tough decision here. Do you shoot quickly and give the Colts an opportunity for the last second shot? Or do you hold it? And
55 seconds is a long time to hold the ball.
Especially with Cambridge, who likes to turn the ball over, too, with pressure. So if it's me, I'm trying to get a shot off as quick as I can, and I wanted to isolate Davis Singleton on the block to get him his 5th foul and get him out of the game. Put Cork on him, run that underneath pick to put Cork on the block and make sure that Singleton's the guy that follows him. If I'm Cambridge, that's what I'm thinking. And try to get a shot off as quick as you can and maybe even get a 3-point out of it.
Cats have 1 timeout left. Colts have 2. Cambridge shooting the 1-and-1 on any foul. The Cats have a foul to give here with only 5 team fouls. So if they have to head back to the defensive end and defend, you can be a little bit more aggressive in that situation. But Cambridge has had good success going to Valentine in the paint here. Dominic Cork being quiet in this half, only had 2 points in the half.
Yeah, just 1 for 6 from the field for Dominic in this second half.
Perkins will inbound it. to Bond in the backcourt. And Jerome Todd will pick him up man. And we're under 50. Over to Slaughter. They'll run him on the baseline. Feed down low. Valentine off his hands and back into the hands of Bond. Valentine's got Webster on him. Back to the right side. Bond around the back to the corner. Perkins looks down low. Valentine doubled up in there this time. Down to the 24-second mark. Cats haven't really gotten into a good set here to score out of. And they'll take their final timeout with 18 on the clock. So now you know you are going to take your final shot, and it's going to be a win or a loss probably.
Absolutely.
Or you get to the line. And, the Colts in that situation where you really can't foul. You don't want to put somebody at the line, but then you got to look and say, if we got to foul, who do we going to foul?
Well, you certainly don't want to foul Valentine in this situation.
No, he has been sizzling all night long.
Historically, you don't want to leave it in Dominic Cork's hands either. So if it were me, I'm going after one of the younger guys. But credit Meadowbrook there for that nice half-court set on defense, not giving an opportunity for the Cats to set up their play, even though they had Valentine at the block, really in two different situations, and just couldn't get the ball to him.
So coming out of the timeout, the Cats need to get into a pretty good play where people are moving. That time, for 30, 40 seconds, it was mostly Bond dribbling from one side to the floor to the other. Yeah. You had some movement away from him, but now you got to get a little bit of action. And I don't know if it's too early to get in some kind of a set play where you have option one, option two.
Oh, yeah, you got plenty of time. I mean, there's 18 seconds, so you certainly don't need to rush. Main thing is taking care of the ball. And looks like Valentine's on the bench. It's kind of surprising here.
An extra guard in play in Feldner as they'll get it in the backcourt.
So if Valentine's on the bench, I got to believe Cork's getting the ball.
Cork's the guy. Down low, backdoor cut to Perkins, and he'll lay it in. And the Cats with a 1-point lead. Jake Singleton down low, shot block, no foul. Wow. As Perkins got a piece of it. And they'll call Perkins with the foul and send Jake Singleton to the line to shoot 2. Wow.
And Cats, no timeouts here.
No timeouts. 1-point Cambridge lead. We're tied. Well, if you're the Colts, who else do you want?
Right.
Who else would you rather have at the line right now?
If your last name is Singleton, you got to feel pretty comfortable. Either one, right?
Yeah. 44 apiece, 2.5 on the clock. Colts lead it. Ice water in his veins. Perkins looking for the inbounds play. Get it ahead. He'll get it back from half court. The shot just off the mark to the left. And the Colts will survive the Bobcats tonight. Late heroics, Jake Singleton with 2.5 on the clock steps to the line and calmly drops in a couple of free throws for the W. And the Colts will run their record 9-1 on the season. The Bobcats, a tough luck loss tonight, dropped to 3-5. Final score 45-44 Meadowbrook. We're going to take a break, step out, pay a few bills. We'll come back with our post-game wrap-up right after this.
I'm not buying till I checked on Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
Strike 3, you're out!
Pitchers can throw perfect games. Bowlers can bowl perfect games. But there's no such thing as a perfect church. Churches are made up of imperfect people. People who have had their hearts broken and their dreams shattered. Church is for people who need hope, who need forgiveness, and who need to learn to forgive. Church is for people like you and me. Join us at Stop 9 Church of Christ, 9:30 Sunday morning. The imperfect church where you can find God's perfect love. And celebrate the victory God has won for you.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. And on the radio, I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge. Don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
Here at MVHC, we offer adult, dental, pediatric, women's, pharmacy, and transportation services, as well as behavioral health. We accept all patients. Make your appointment today if you're not feeling well.
How can you select from insurance companies offering you lizards or ducks? When it comes to protection for your home and auto, you want a company that provides quality insurance products and personalized, fair, friendly claims service. WB Green Insurance represents Westfield Insurance. Their reputation is based on sharing knowledge and building trust. Westfield has been around the neighborhood over 150 years. WB Green Insurance welcomes the opportunity to quote your home, car, and business insurance. Don't be fooled by lizards and ducks. Call 439-1329.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance as you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Schaefer Insurance on Wheeling Avenue today in downtown Cambridge.
When it's game night, let Papa John's Pizza on Southgate Parkway feed your team after the game. Hey, this is Shannon. You can create your pizza with all your favorite toppings or pick one of our specialty pizzas like the Super Hawaiian, the Philly cheesesteak, the Works, or the Fiery Buffalo Chicken. Don't forget we also have chicken poppers, wings, breadsticks, and cheese sticks too. Call 740-439-PAPA. That's 439-7272 or order from your phone at papajohns.com.
Are you paying too much for homeowners insurance? Has your insurance company raised your deductible? Hi, this is John Valentine with Valentine Insurance. Many people can't accurately answer these questions. With many premiums escrowed into mortgages, homeowners don't pay attention to changes to their policies anymore. It's time you visit Valentine Insurance for a true, no-obligation review of your insurance policy. Call 994-1776 or stop by our office at 739 Southgate Parkway in Cambridge.
Back at Gene Ford Court, post-game wrap-up and a thriller as the Colts come from behind, down 10 at the end of one period, did not take the lead till the end of the third, and a late buzzer beater by Davis Singleton, who ends up being the leading scorer tonight, but he wasn't the hero.
Well, he certainly helped.
He certainly helped, but the Colts come from behind and end up on top tonight, 45-44, the final. As both teams score 9 in that final period. Cats on top through one period tonight, 16-6. A late run at the end of the first period, and the Cats surged ahead and held that lead for 3 periods till that buzzer beater at the end of the third. It was 21-19 at halftime, and the Bobcats just kind of saw that lead go from 2 to 4 to 6 to 2 until Davis Singleton hit that 3 after a big third period. But then both teams battled back and forth in the fourth period as the score changed hands a couple of times and tied at 40 and then again at 44 and 45. The final point is Jake Singleton fouled on a desperation shot as he went to the basket. And, when that happens, there's probably contact. And some officials say you let him play and decide the game, and others would say a foul's a foul.
Right.
If you get fouled, send him to the line, and now you got to make the shots.
Well, and that's my opinion, is a foul's a foul. I don't care if it happens with .1 or second of the game. I mean, a foul's a foul. You don't swallow your whistle if you see it, and if it happens, then you call it. Now, obviously he thought it was a foul. From up here, you can't tell, right? But his shot was certainly altered.
Yep.
Whether it was blocked or he got his arm. So you got to credit Jake for knocking those two down, And, on a normal night without COVID, this place would probably be a little bit louder for him.
Oh, my goodness. Wouldn't have been able to hear us.
No, definitely not.
It was pretty loud anyway.
But, credit Meadowbrook for not really getting out of sorts the entire game. They had their game plan. They didn't come out of it. They played good, solid half-court defense. They got up and down the floor in transition, and I think that was the biggest difference in the game. Not necessarily shooting the ball. They only shot 51% for the game, and Cambridge shot 46%. So it wasn't the greatest game shooting the ball by either team, but I think the difference was Meadowbrook scored in transition, and they caught Cambridge sleeping a couple times, and I think that was the difference in the game.
Yeah, the Cats handled the ball pretty well tonight. They didn't have that normal number of big turnovers, and especially playing a slower tempo game in the half court, pounding it inside. Cambridge had great success getting it into Brock Valentine, who had a big night with 12 points, 10 of those coming at the free throw line, where he went an amazing 10 of 11.
Right.
And get him back on track a little bit, because that really, and the Cats fed it inside a lot tonight for Dominic Cork, who just didn't quite have the distance on that jump hook. He left a bunch on the front rim, but credit to Colt defense. When you got Davis Singleton and Webster jumping on you there, pushing you one more step away from the basket than you're usually starting that move.
Yep.
He had a tough night. Dominic Cork was 7-10 for Sean Perkins, who came alive a little bit tonight. 6 for Slaughter off the bench, 5 for Caleb Bond, 2 apiece for Caden Moore and Owen Feldner. The Cats go 12 of 15 at the line and hit 4 3-pointers in the game tonight. For the Colts, 18 for Davis Singleton, including a buzzer beater, 1 of 3 at the line. Jake Singleton tonight, couple of threes. The last 2 free throws, his only free throws of the night, finished with 16. Webster with 4, Todd with 5, and 2 for McCall. As the Colts go 5 of 10 at the line, 4 3-pointers as well. And about as close it came, obviously. It come down to the last possession, and the Colts able to squeeze a win out. And you got to credit both teams. Bobcats played probably the best game we've seen them play since early season when they played in the Classic, and the Colts just finding a way to get it done.
Yeah, I don't think Meadowbrook played a bad game. I think they played actually pretty well. Now, they did have probably more turnovers than they'd like to see. I've got them with 11, and I'm sure that Coach is going to address that. But you also got to give Cambridge a little bit of credit on that from the defensive side. They actually played pretty well defensively. So a couple of those you got to give to the defense. But I think really, other than some shooting issues, I think Meadowbrook played a pretty good game outside of those turnovers and flipped the switch to Cambridge. I think you're right. That's probably their best overall game from tip to buzzer. Most complete game other than a couple costly turnovers. Some positives for Cambridge. You're right. They have to start getting the ball inside more. They have to get to the foul line more. Cambridge was 12 for 15 from the free throw line tonight. That's what you need in close games. And but Dominic Cork going 1 for 6 in the second half. That's not normal for him.
No, he got good looks.
He got that. That's what I'm getting at. Is he had those looks? He's usually money from that 6 to 8 foot little jump hook, and unfortunately he was a little bit short. So credit Meadowbrook for putting a little bit more pressure on him, maybe that he couldn't knock those down. But Dominic knocks 1 or 2 of those down, and it's a different game for the Cats. But I think it was obviously an entertaining game from start to finish. A lot of lead. The lead was never more than that 10 from the opening quarter. And Meadowbrook just got back into it from a couple turnovers by Cambridge and really some Meadowbrook not getting too nervous. Right? They played within themselves and let the game play out.
Well, when you're a team the caliber of the Colts, and I don't know if Coach Tolles just told them this, and you hear it from the Buckeyes all the time, you're going to get everybody's best shot.
Oh, sure.
You're going to get everybody's best shot.
Yeah.
They're going to be up. There's going to be a lot of adrenaline. They're going to play, we've been to the state tournament recently and looking to get back there again. And tonight the Bobcats took their best shot and came up a point shy, but they grew from that. The Colts, Jake Singleton and Davis Singleton, 2 of the better ball players that you're going to see on a team together.
Yeah.
And maybe in this area.
Yeah.
Because if Davis Singleton doesn't get in foul trouble, this game may not be as close as it was, because he had to sit and watch for a couple of periods in this game, and
the Cats
he was unstoppable.
They had no answer for Davis tonight. There was no stopping him from anywhere on the floor, and you saw his confidence. As soon as he caught the ball, he was headed to the basket, and the Cats weren't going to stop him. But one thing that would concern me a little bit from Meadowbrook is they need a little bit more balanced scoring. Yep. Again, Jerome Todd can get loose and he can knock down 20, and he's going to be able to make some of those outside shots. But him only getting 4 shots off in the game, to me, would be a little bit concerning, because what if Davis has a little bit of an off night, or Jake has a little bit of an off night? You got to have that third guy.
And the Bobcat defense tonight with Davis on the bench, they could be more concerned about where's Jake and make sure he doesn't get his shot.
Yeah.
And
that could have been a factor in it too. But, I think Coach Tolles would be a little bit more comfortable if he could get Jerome a little bit more in the scoring column. But he makes up for it on the defensive end. My goodness, he was all over the place. And I think if they can get a little bit more balanced scoring, and Drew Webster really was quiet tonight too. He ended up with 4 points, but he's actually played really well this year for the Colts too. So they've got a good, nucleus, a good 5 on the floor that, their confidence is going to continue to build as they move forward. And I think you're going to see that from the Cats now as well.
Yeah, a year ago, the Colts blew the Cats out twice, 46-18 and 57-32. And the Cats maybe served notice tonight that wasn't going to happen again. And now, later in the season, you'll have that second shot at the corral.
Mm-hmm.
But, before that, the Bobcats have a lot of basketball to play.
Hey, the great news is we get to come back tomorrow.
Or we can just stay here.
We may as well.
We're leaving the equipment.
Order some pizza.
Order some pizza and just stay here. So, 24 hours. We'll be back here as the Cats, in the midst of a homestand, take on the Martins Ferry Purple Riders, a team that you'll hear more about as the Cats now in that Buckeye 8 moving into that league. That's one of the teams you'll hear a little bit more of. So Cats 2 nights in a row, back-to-back. And boy, I tell you, left it all out there tonight.
Sure did.
They're going to have to gather themselves and
really quick
get back out there tomorrow.
And you see that sometimes, especially a rivalry game and a game the very next day. You get all your emotions and everything's exciting in day one, and you give it your all, and then all of a sudden you got to come back and play the next day. Sometimes you can come out a little bit flat. I don't think the Cats are going to do that tomorrow. I think they're going to build a little bit of confidence after tonight.
There are no moral victories as the Bobcats fall by a point tonight to the Colts, 45-44. I want to thank Tracy Lingefelder, Jacob Richter back at the station tonight, engineering our game on the radio side, and John Clark and Adam the G-Man here on site tonight with the streaming video. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back in action, all of us, tomorrow for the Bobcats and the Purple Riders. And for Johnny Valentine, he will be my sidekick tomorrow. That may entice you to come, or maybe not, whatever you want.
Don't tell people that. There won't be anybody tuning in.
Final score once again tonight, the Colts 45, the Bobcats 44 for the entire ABC Sports team. I'm Bill Kafuri. Tomorrow night, see you then. Good night.
High school basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by West 40 Auto Sales, WB Green Insurance, Park National Bank, Patrons Buckeye Mutual, Southeastern Med, Doan Ford, Abel's Electric Heating and Cooling, Valentine Insurance, Papa John's Pizza of Cambridge, Muskingum Valley Health Centers, and Schaefer Insurance. This has been a presentation of ABC Communications.